my mission.
Okay. To get to that point, I need to step back a point. The hardest part I've seen in my fight, and I'm the chief of the tribe, is when you come up against people of color as well as European descent, and you say Indians, they're looking for the Bill Cody, Long Range or Tonto style thing. And when you actually show them that the indigenous people were actually my color, as I have a habit telling people, are cocoa brown or a brown piece of leather well put together. I have a lot of ways of using slangs to tell people that we are still here because we were not weak. We were here before DeSoto and Christopher Columbus. You have to be strong to make it through those disasters. During Katrina, I told them Katrina was not a Category 5. My people had came through some Category 5s, and we survived them. So Katrina to me was going to be an easy thing to survive, because when you're hit by a category named DeSoto, Category 5, and it lingers around for 400 to 500 years, steady beating on the shore, and it just won't move. That's a disaster. Not a disaster that just come and go, but a disaster that's still lingering. Then when you have a person like George Washington, that was a Category 5. He hit, and we're still lingering because he's still on shore. Okay, so that's two categories sitting on shore at the same time. It's a God-given right. Okay, a God-given right. Because even the people that's in churches of whatever race, they keep singing about the 12 tribes of Israel. Or they keep singing about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Well, everybody didn't come from Jacob. That's right. And if they did, that means everybody ought to be black. Because Jacob was married within his tribe. People that looked like him. He married his uncle's children. Okay? So, when we sit here, we won't even tell the truth about what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob looked like. So, then I have to go to mine, like I told this caller that come from you. How far back you think they've been stealing our color and race? And do you think they're going to get real people back their race? No. That's something we have to stand up. We have been allowing, like I was telling you before the show started, we have allowed people to make us accept things. When the Europeans have come here, whatever they don't like, they write a law. And they stick together and they push it through.
This is Genesis chapter 30, verse 10. It says, And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, A troop cometh. And she called his name Gad. This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And it reads, And Jacob called unto his sons, and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Verse 19, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Kohalayim Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Yahawashi. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Yahweh that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings to you all. Barakatha. Here we are on this wicked holiday, man, known as Thanksgiving. And this is the lesson that's going to simply be called Gad's Cry. Gad's Cry. You see, we're entering into the last days, man. The last moments, I should say. The last moments of this nation's rulership, of this kingdom, of this empire, of Esau, Edom. You see what I'm saying? And now it's time for everything that they've hidden under the tables, in the closets, in the basement. It's time for all of that to be exposed in these hours, man. Esau's got to be made bare out here. It's got to be made bare. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to the prophecies, man. Because they don't like prophecies. That's why they always come around us. That's why they always come around the camps, you know, various different camps, especially the camp of GMS, you know, and they harassed the Israelites, man. And I'm speaking to you, Vocab Malone. Speaking to you. You see, because your people don't want to hear this truth. Y'all don't want to hear what's coming for y'all, man. Y'all don't want to see it. Y'all need this to not be the truth, man. You need that. You don't want this gospel to actually be the real thing of what we speaking, what we teaching, coming out of this book. Because if this is true, then that means you got to pay for everything that you have done. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 7. Right? Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahawah of hosts, is wisdom no more in Taman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, will they destroy till they have enough? Right? And we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this, man, because I got a couple videos to share with y'all. Man. You know, but we got to get a couple scriptures before that. Right? Let me read that again. Verse 9. Chapter 49 of the book of Jeremiah. It says, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. You see, these people are going to be nothing regarded very soon, man. You know, that's why all their enchantments are failing them in these hours, man. That's why they can't get, you know, they can't catch a break, man. Now they're talking about, you know, critical race theory, trying to sweep everything that they've done under the rug when they know what they've done. And they bragged about what they did for years. For decades, they bragged about it. They made statues to commemorate what they did. You see what I'm saying? That statue of Theodore Roosevelt with the Indian on the one, the so-called Native Indian on the one side, and the so-called Negro on the other side, man, showing you what they had both in subjection. They had the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of Judah. Both these kingdoms would combine into the nation of Israel. Right? As a matter of fact, let's get that. Jeremiah chapter 50. 51, Salakia. Actually, not 50. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. Right? Jeremiah 50, 33, it says, thus saith Yahawah of hosts. Right? Yahawah Tazabawath, it says, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. They refused to let them go, man. It's time for this nation to sit down in the dust, man, Because ain't nothing left for. Ain't nothing left for these Edomites, man. Nobody loves them anymore. Nobody regards them, you know what I'm saying, in any meaningful way, man. Let's go to Isaiah 47, verse 1. Isaiah 47, 1, it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Yes, yes, vocab. This place is Babylon the Great. America is Babylon the Great. That's written of in these prophecies. That's going to receive great judgments. This is that whore of Babylon. This is the virgin daughter of Babylon. This is the great whore that sits upon many waters. And what's those waters? The waters talk about the other nations. The other nations. You see what I'm saying? You don't learn that in these so-called theologian schools, man. Right? These what do they call them? What do they call them? Christian seminaries. You see what I'm saying? Because y'all can't link these precepts together. Y'all can't link the prophecies. That's why you don't go into them. That's why you don't go into these prophecies, man. These jakes out here that's running these mega churches, they don't deal with prophecies. They don't deal with the book of Revelations. They don't deal with the book of Isaiah, man. You see what I'm saying? They'll stay all day inside the book of Psalms, never knowing what the book of Psalms is even talking about. Because King David was also in the spirit of prophecy. You see what I'm saying?
Hey there, you get some gas?
Salaki. King David was also in the spirit of prophecy. Right? So how do we link these so-called white people who would be Edomites, as the scriptures say? How do we link them to be in Babylon? How do we link America to Babylon? How do we link them as the rulers of Babylon? Well, we understand that America is their foothold, and America runs the entire world. Not for long, of course. But then what do? We go to the book of Psalms, and we deal with the book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 7. And we read on down. Psalms 137, verse 7, it says, Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, Raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. It's talking about Esau, Edom, and the capital of their empire, which would be America. You see? And the whole beast that this whore rides upon is what? It's the European Union. You see? It's the European Union. It says, O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou have served us. That rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. The precept for that is where? In the book of Revelations, chapter 13. All right. Oh, Salakia. Okay. Revelations chapter 13, verse 9, it says, If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And nobody wants to talk about that recompense, man. Nobody. Nobody wants to deal. Everybody wants to talk about justice until it's time for them to get until it's time for justice to actually be enacted, right? Revelation chapter 18, verse 4 says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven." Who is this? This is America. This is talking about America. This is talking about Esau's empire. You know what I'm saying? The European Union beginning with America. All right, because you understand this. The beast along with the whore is going to get that judgment, man. Even though the Most High is going to lay it upon the beast system to turn against the whore, right? The European Union and all her allies, right? Then what's going to happen? Judgment's going to come for the allies. You see? For her sins have reached unto heaven. Salaki. Get these heads. Right? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. You see, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. And it's about to be that. It's about to be that, man. It's time for them to drink that cup. You see, are they going to go all unpunished? Hell no. Hell no. Look at what they've done to these so-called natives. Look at what they've done to the so-called Latino tribes. You see, because it began with Christopher Columbus, right? And who did he come? Who did he come across? He came across the Arawak, the so-called Arawak. They were from the northern kingdom of Israel, and then they hid that truth. They hid that fact. Let's get another precept here. Come on. This is Jeremiah chapter 49. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse back here, verse 10. Verse 10. Jeremiah 49 and 10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me," man. Even your women ain't gonna love you no more, man. You see, it's gonna be one huge 180. You know what I'm saying? A real turnaround. As the scriptures say, he's gonna take down the green tree and raise up the barren tree, right? Lord willing, I get that precept. It's on my mind. Verse 12, it says, "For thus saith Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it." You see what I'm saying? All this is coming around to Esau Edom, man. And they're going to pay for their crimes. They are going to pay for their crimes, man. So let's see what we got. Brought down the high tree. Brought down the high tree. Raised up the low tree. Let's see if I can find it. Bear with me, Akim. Alright, Khan, this is Ezekiel chapter 17, verse Ezekiel 17 and 24. Alright? Let's start at verse 23. It says, "In the mountain of the height of Israel will I plant it, and it shall bring forth boughs and bear fruit, and be a goodly cedar. And under it shall dwell all fowl of every wing. In the shadow of the branches thereof shall they dwell." Right? What is this prophecy going into, man? It's going into the Israelites. It's going into the Israelites, you know, being put in order, being put in prestige, in prestige type of setting, you know, in full rulership over all the other nations. And then where it talks about all the, you know, all the fowl of every wing, you know, in the shadow of the branches shall they dwell. It's talking about those of the other nations are going to come and seek our guidance. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a whole rulership, beginning with the head Yahawah, then King David, and then the 144,000. You see? That's what this is, man. The tabernacle of David. The kingdom of David. You see? Verse 24, it says, "And all the trees of the field shall know." It's all these other nations. All these other nations are going to see it. "All the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord Yahawah, have brought down the high tree, which is Esau, and his rulership and his empire, have exalted the low tree, which is the Israelites," right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, and those who stem from us, you know, those who stem from these people through the lines of their fathers, right? Beginning with that governing body, have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree, right? This is that same duality, and have made the dry tree to flourish. I, Yahawah, have spoken and have done it. And that's what's going to happen, man. Right? So here on this Thanksgiving, if you will, you know, we're going to shed some light on these deeds that Esau has done, and we're going to get into it, man. We're going to get into it. All the things that Esau hates to admit. You know, he hates to admit, he hates to face these facts. He hates to face the history that he was so proud of. And all these precepts just keep coming to mind, man. Let's go to Sirach, man. Let's go to Sirach. All right. And let's go to chapter 41, Sirach chapter 41, verse 6. It says, "The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach." And that's what these Edomites are currently under right now. They're currently under massive reproach, you know, inquisition. People are pointing fingers at them, you know, as being a problem, which they are. And they've always been. They've always been the problem. Verse 7, "The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake." And that's what's happening. These guys, these Edomites today, they're not proud as their forefathers were, as their fathers and their grandfathers were. They're not proud like their grandfathers and their great grandfathers were. right? You see what I'm saying? Because they're being reproached for the sins of their fathers, as it is written in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. There's going to be great slaughter. There's going to be great punishments for these descendants, right? Because you are your fathers coming back into in a regeneration. You are them. You are those spirits being brought back. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3, verse 17. It says, "For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor." You see? They are without honor in these days, man. Alright, so let's get into this video, man. You know, before any more precepts pop into mind, because I want to get this lesson in. Alright.
Time evolves and comes to a place where it renews again. There is first a purification time, then there's renewal time. We are getting very close to this time now.
Alright, so let's start this with the book of Ecclesiastes. Right? Because what did he say? He said this time and the time that's to come, you know, there's a time for all these things, right? So where we get that from? We get that in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3. Verse 1, and it says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heavens." Right? A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. You see? And that's what's going on, man. These are the dualities that we're dealing with. You know, these are the different times that's shaping in this world, man. You know, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. And Esau's been building up, you know, for all these years. They've been building up this empire. But as is written in Malachi chapter 1, verse 4, it says, "And they shall build, but I will throw down." So it's time to break it down. This is what Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi is preparing to do. You know? He's preparing to do that. Verse 4, "A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance." You know what I'm saying? Our people have been in mourning for all these different years. All these many years, our people have been mourning since we got to this place, man. Starting with the native Indians and the so-called Native Indians, so-called Latino tribes. You know what I'm saying, of the Northern Kingdom. They have been in mourning since Columbus showed up over here. They've been in mourning. Right? They've been weeping. You see? And then it trickled to the Southern Kingdom, so-called Negroes. Right? When they was brought over from Portugal, Spain, you know what I'm saying, and western coast of Africa, you know, we were stripped from our rulership, we were stripped from our kingdoms over there, you know, during the Dark Ages and whatnot, from the Songhai Empire, all these different empires that we built over there, Mali, Empire and whatnot, you know. And then we came in the morning. We came in the morning, as the scriptures say. Israel and Judah were oppressed together, these two kingdoms. But very soon there's going to be a time to dance. You see? So let's continue.
We were told that we would see America come and go. And in a sense, America is dying. from within, because they forgot the instructions on how to live on earth.
You know where we got to go for that precept, right? America is dying. Babylon the Great is dying. You see, you can say whatever the hell you want to, vocab. This place is what it is, and you know it's true. And you know it's true. That's why you lose sleep. That's why you keep harassing the Israelites. That's why you keep coming here and going there. And you know, as the elder Yahawah mentioned, you in Dallas right now, getting ready to harass them over there. You know this is true. This is Jeremiah 51, verse 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Guess what? Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. All these nations are turning back to their own countries. They're going back to their old customs. You see, they're starting to go back to their old customs now. What do you see happening with America? America is being left in the dust, as is written. Sit down in the dust. America is being left behind. You see, because everybody's tired of her wine. And what did this Hopi prophecy talk about? It talked about America dealing with a downfall. It's no different than what the scriptures are speaking. Why? Because these are Israelites. These are Israelites. They understand how the world works. They understand that there's ancient and holy order to things. They understand that. It's all written right here in this book. They understand it. Let's continue.
Everything is coming to a time where prophecy and man's inability to live on earth in a spiritual way will come to a crossroad of great problems. It's the Hopi belief, it's our belief that if you're not spiritually connected to the earth and understand the spiritual reality of how to live on earth, it's likely you will not make it.
This is Psalms chapter 82. Verse 4. Psalms 82 verse 4 says, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. You want to know who the wicked are? It's Esau, Edom. Go and read Malachi 1 and 4. Verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. All the foundations of the earth are out of course, man. Now you got people confused about what they are, who they are. You know what I'm saying? You got the children confused. They don't know what gender they want to be. They don't know what's going on. Everybody's confounded out here. Everybody's confused. Don't nobody know what the hell they doing, man. People sitting around thinking that everything's good. You know what I'm saying? What's the scripture say? For victuals shall be so good, cheap on the earth. People don't know how to farm. They don't know how to conduct agriculture. They don't know these principles. Why? Because it's so far distant and detached from life, from the very understanding of life. You see, they don't know how to respect it. They don't know how to cherish it. They don't know how to preserve it. You see, The whole foundation of the earth is out of course. And why is it? It's because of Esau, Edom. It all goes back to this cracker.
When Columbus came, that began what we term as the First World War. That was the true First World War when Columbus arrived. Because along with him came everybody from Europe.
And that's right, Job 9:24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it's not this damn devil, if it's not these Edomites, these so-called white people, who are they? Who's the wicked man? Tell me that part.
By the end of the Second World War, we were, in America, we were only 800,000 from 60 million to 800,000. So we were almost exterminated here in America.
Let's get those numbers one more time. Let's hear them again.
We were almost exterminated from 60 million to 800,000.
So if we want to talk about 6 million, if we want to talk about 6 million short hats, 6 million small hats, 6 million curly sideburns, if we want to talk about them, let's talk about the 60 million Native Indians that were exterminated, that were destroyed, that were slaughtered. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about them. You see? 4 million Native Indians in the span of 4 years. That's 1 million Native Indians per year that was slaughtered. Huh? You listen to Columbus's own records, and he bragged about it. He said he couldn't put his sword down for an hour. He didn't put his sword down for an hour. He had to kill that many. This is Esau, man. The scriptures say the scriptures say what he said in his heart. He said, I will slay my brother Jacob. And that's why I started off with that precept, Gad, a troop shall overcome him. But he shall overcome in the last, man. You see?
We were almost exterminated here in America. Everything is spiritual. Everything has a spirit. Everything was brought to you by the Creator, the one Creator. Some people call him God. Some people call him Buddha. Some people call him Allah. Some people call him other names. We call him Tonkashila, grandfather.
Tonkashila, but his name is Yahawah. And that name is going to be brought back to everyone's remembrance. When the time comes, he's going to bring that name back into everyone's remembrance. Right now, he's doing it by ways of his prophets. The true prophets, the ones that are speaking his name, the ones that speak in the name of his son, the name of his, the name of the Most High, the name of his son, right? You know what I'm saying? Slacky, I got tongue twisted there. And the world is going to remember them. The world is going to remember these names. And they're going to see them through us. They're going to see the glory through us. You see what I'm saying?
We're here on Earth only a few winters. Then we go to the spirit world. The spirit world is more real than most of us believe. The spirit world is everything. Over 95% of our body is water. And in order to stay healthy, you got to drink good water. When the European first came here, Columbus, we could drink out of any river. If the Europeans had lived the Indian way when they came, we'd still be drinking out of water because the water is sacred. The air is sacred. Our DNA is made of the same DNA as the tree. The tree breathes what we exhale. When the tree exhales, we need what the tree exhales. So we have a common destiny with the tree.
All right. And so with that, let's go to Isaiah chapter 24, verse 4. Let's start at verse 3. It says, "The land shall be utterly emptied. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled. For the Lord Yahawah hath spoken his word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant." Right now, these devils is talking about CO2 emissions, but what this chief right here just told you cuts everything of what these so-called scientists is talking about when they say we need to cut CO2 emissions and whatnot. No, the earth takes care of its own self without your interference. You see, without your interference. And we go and get into why this earth is so upside down like this, man. They have transgressed the laws, they've changed the ordinances and broken the everlasting covenant. You see? Now let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 7. You know, we're gonna get into what's gonna happen when these Edomites is taken out of their place, taken out of rulership, and put in their proper place of being servants, put in their proper place of being slaves. Verse 7, Isaiah 14:7, it says, "The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us." You see? The chief was talking about these trees out here. Now, anyone that's sensible understands that we need these trees in order to survive. But Esau is the one that has to tear them down. He is adverse to everything that is righteous and that is wholesome and that is orderly.
We are all from the earth. And when the earth, the water, the atmosphere is corrupted, then it will create its own reaction. Mother is reacting. In the Hopi prophecy, they say the storms and floods will become greater.
That's also prophecy, man. It's written of in the scriptures. Because where the Hopi get it from? They get it from where they came from. They came from these laws. They understand. They understand all these things is written. Right? Do not pollute the land. It's very simple. Give the land time to rest. Give it a land Sabbath. A land Sabbath. You see? All these things are wisdom. This is wisdom on how to maintain this world's order and maintain this world's balance. All these things are balanced, man. Let's go to Proverbs. It's Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "A false balance is abomination to the Lord Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, but a just weight is his delight." Everything must be done decently and in order.
To me, it's not a negative thing to know that there will be great changes. It's not negative. It's evolution. When you look at it as evolution, it's time. Nothing stays the same.
Sedan Darwin skrev sitt berömda verk om arternas uppkomst har vetenskapen varit övertygad om att människan härstammar från aporna.
We always say, that might be your ancestor, but it's not our ancestor. He is a relative, but not our ancestor. You should learn how to plant something. That's the first connection. You should treat all things as spirit. Realize that we are one family. It's never something like the end. Just like life, there's no end to life.
Right? There's no end to life. There's no end to all the people, man. You know, just like how vocab likes to say, well, Esau's not here anymore. Esau's done away with. Esau's been destroyed. Where does it say that? Where does it say that? Because if that's the case, then why would it say that Esau's the end of the world? Let's get that. Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." Right? Clearly, these people are still here, right? And when Esau is destroyed and actually done away with vocab, that's when life will continue. Life will continue, and it'll stay that way, man. But the rulership of the Israelites will remain eternal. That will remain eternal, even though all these other nations will live and die. The Israelites will be immortal. The Israelites will be immortal. And yes, Deacon Hakah, the Israelites will be here for more than 1,000 years. Much, 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 much more than 1,000 years. Immortality is just that. Immortality. We will be immortals. All these other nations will live and die. All these individual heathens, these individual Gentiles, they will live and they will die. You see? The Israelites will live on and on and on. You understand? Now, sure, these other nations will live longer. You see, they will live longer. They'll live longer than 70 years. Why? Because they will be taught the laws. They will be taught how to live life according to these laws. They will be taught order. You see, they will be eating properly. They won't be eating all this mess, all this nasty stuff, all these abominations. So yeah, they will live longer. They will live longer. Possibly as long as Methuselah. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know, but they will definitely live longer than what they're living now. You see what I'm saying? All right. So let's see. All right. Okay, so let's get another video that I wanted to show y'all. And let's continue from there. All right, bear with me. All right, so let's listen to a little bit of this. And we're going to get into a couple scriptures here. All right, so check this out.
It's the Hopi belief, it's our belief that if you're not spiritually connected to the earth and understand the spiritual reality of how to live on earth, it's likely you will not make it. The tree breathes what we exhale. When the tree exhales, we need what the tree exhales. So we have a common destiny with the tree. We are all from the earth. And when the earth, the water, the atmosphere is corrupted, then it will create its own reaction. Mother is reacting.
So something strange has come over this country, which is the fulfillment of our prophecies, that mighty wind has come. In wind, you do not see it, you only feel it. So there's a feeling that has come over people. And when we talk about the Indian way of life, perhaps it is an error to say Indian way of life. It is only a human being way of life. But it so happens that the native people have preserved that way of life. Every creation still follows the original instructions of life. The fruits, they come in a circle form. Many of our vegetables are round. All natural things follows that circle. I've been to Switzerland, Germany, Belgium, all over. In Switzerland, they have preserved their castle. Right next door is the torture chambers, in which they tortured their people. Then tell me who the savage is. We had no jailhouses. Does it mean that we had no laws? Or does it mean that we had no criminals? We know. We understand.
Chief Arvo Looking Horse from Lakota Sioux Nation. We're here on my reservation, the Cheyenne River Reservation. A great teaching has come among the people.
Matter of fact, I want to take that back. Let's hear that man again.
I've been to Switzerland, Germany, Belgium, all over. In Switzerland, they have preserved their castle. Right next door is the torture chambers, in which they tortured their people. Then tell me who the savage is. We had no jailhouses. Does it mean that we had no laws? Or does it mean that we had no criminals? We know. We understand.
All right. So this is the book of Sirach. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 2. Sirach 33 and 2, it says, "A wise man hateth not the law, but he that is an hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm. A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an oracle." You see? You see? And this is the thing about Esau Edom, man. These people are not bound by any laws, man. They play like they stand behind the law, but they don't. They don't. You see? There's a saying that goes, "This is just us system. It's not a justice system. It's a just us system with Esau, Edom. You know what I'm saying? Clearly for certain things that Esau does, he'll be let go, you know, when it but if it's a Jake that does the same thing, he'll be thrown the book. He'll be thrown the book at. You see what I'm saying? For example, there's this one Edomite that just got he just got accused, he just admitted to raping this 14-year-old girl. And he was a bus driver. He admitted to raping this 14-year-old girl, and he got off scot-free because the judge said it was inappropriate to give him any sentence. Does that sound like a righteous system to you? That's not a righteous system. You see? Right now, you got this whole situation with Kyle Rittenhouse, you know, and for some odd reason, all these jakes is getting pissed off because he got off scot-free. You know what I'm saying? Because he got off scot-free. And no, even though he's getting off scot-free, in their laws, doesn't mean that he's going to get off scot-free in the Most High's laws. You see what I'm saying? But then what they do with you jakes, man, they show you the Ahmaud Arbery case. The Ahmaud Arbery case, all three of these Edomites are sentenced to prison. And so what did that do? That pacified y'all. That's supposed to pacify y'all immediately. You see, all the while these Edomites is getting y'all, you know, getting y'all emotionally set on this roller coaster, up and down. You don't know where you coming. Salaki.
Chief Arvo looking.
Salaki for that. You know, and you got all these jakes that's sitting on this emotional roller coaster. They don't know which way to go. Meanwhile, Esau is doing his damnness to get this new world order going on, because the more you're focused on what's in this theater that they call news, the more you're focused on that, the less focused you are in actually coming back to your power. All right? So let's go to Numbers. Okay? Let's go to Numbers chapter 14. Verse 18. Numbers 14 and 18, it says, "The Lord is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation." This thing's bound to happen, man. They're not going to get off scot-free, man. They're not. They're going to face their crimes. And they're going to face it with such you know, vicious way. You know what I'm saying? In such a vicious way that everyone else, all these other nations are going to look at Esau, Edom, and they're going to say, damn, I'm in this captivity, but at least I'm not an Edomite. But thank goodness I'm not an Edomite. You see, it's going to get like that, man. You see, because the Most High don't play. Most High don't play, man. You touch his people, you touching the apple of his eyes, man. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians. You touching the apple of his eye. And he's not going to let that go. He's coming after y'all. He's coming after y'all. Yes, the 2/3 is about to be taken out. Yes. But that don't mean that he ain't going to still get his vengeance off your ass. Because when they come back into the kingdom, you know what I'm saying, through the loins of the elect, guess what? They're going to remember y'all. And it's going to be payback. All right. Let's continue.
Course from Lakota Sioux Nation. We're here on my reservation, the Cheyenne River Reservation. A great teaching has come among the people when they disrespect the way of life. And the Creator told the people that you're going to live a way of life. But because that we're human beings, the people, they abuse that life, a way of life, and that's when all the animals and the buffalo disappeared.
You look at all that senseless destruction, all that senseless violence against the buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Why did he take out all these buffalo? So that he could starve out the Indians, starve out the so-called Negroes, the so-called Native Indians, you know what I'm saying, the Gadites. So he could starve them out, so they wouldn't be able to fight back. You know, so they could be dependent on what it was that they was pushing. You know what I'm saying? It says, for the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. And right now, your descendants are being shamed, for what y'all did. Doesn't mean that they're not going to face the punishment. All right, so let's go to Jeremiah chapter 35. Oh, Salaki, Ezekiel 35. All right, Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 4. Ezekiel 35 and 4 says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, Yahawah, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahawah power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You look at all these innocent buffalo. You see, that's the thing about this cunning hunter. They don't kill to survive. They don't kill out of need. They kill for sport. They kill for sport.
But it's going to take all people to really come together, you know, good heart and good mind.
My name is Dave Swallow Jr., you know. I'm talking here on the Black Hills. My grandfather said this is a sacred place, a holy place, the heart of Mother Earth. And today when I come through here, all the buffaloes were gone. I seen posted of no trespassing. And it hurts my heart to see it says this land is for sale. Then I seen them cutting trees for nothing because they're going to build a road here in the Black Hills again. My great ancestors, my grandfathers and their grandfathers, Crazy Horse, they wanted to preserve this land for their grandchildren, which is us. When the first time Columbus came, this was a land of free. There was no tax. There was no ordinances, only the laws of the Creator. See?
Right?
Daughter.
There was no
All right, so yeah, and that's going into something also. But what I want to get is this, because you see what's Esau doing. Esau is tearing down trees and desecrating all these sacred burial grounds and whatnot. You know, this was sacred land to these Gadites. Sacred land. Right? Well, what's the scripture say? What's it say in the law? You see, these people love to tout. They love to tout and say, "Oh, we're Christians, and this is a Christian nation." Well, no, nothing about the way this place was established was righteous under these laws, under the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? None of that. You didn't get this place by any righteous way, any proper way. You didn't do that. Deuteronomy chapter 19 verse 14, it says, "Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that Yahawah thy power giveth thee to possess it." You see, you weren't supposed to take down all this land and these trees. You know what I'm saying? And just decide to put it up for sale. Who the hell are you? You see what I'm saying? And this is exactly why the judgment's coming the way it's going to come for these Edomites. All right. So let's see. Been going on a bit. So let's get a couple scriptures now. Let's get a little bit more here, and then we're gonna shut this down. You know, because Edom's not gonna get away with this. They are not going to get away with this. Let's go to Obadiah. And let's get chapter 1, verse 10. Obadiah 1 and 10, it says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." Thou shalt be cut off forever, man. You know, right now they're feeling the squeeze, because now they have to walk around with t-shirts talking about it's okay to be white. It's okay to be white. But you know damn well that all these other nations are pointing the finger at you. You see what I'm saying? Those that ain't even Israelites. Because we out here and what? We're speaking to Mount Seir. You see what I'm saying? We setting our face towards Mount Seir, and we're pointing the finger. We're pointing the finger. This is Isaiah 34 verse 8. It says, "For it is the day of Yahawah's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion." All your Idumeans is going to be dealt with, man. All you Edomites, y'all are going to be dealt with. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 2. It says, "Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hands." Yeah, we pointing our fingers at you. "Shake the hands, that they may go into the gates of the nobles." And we have reached the gates of your nobles, man. We have reached the ears of the White House. We've reached the ears of the CIA, the FBI. We've reached all your ears. We have reached all your ears, man. The NRO. Higher ups in NASA know about us. That's right. Why do you think Esau Edom brought out this task force, this space force? You know what I'm saying, calling themselves guardians. Why do you think they're doing that? Why do you think they're doing that? You see what I'm saying? They hear what the prophets right? They hearing what the prophets are saying out here, man. They hearing that. And it has reached the ears of those that's in the high seats, in the high mountain, in the high pillars. The elites, they know about us. You see, while all these jokers like Sarnetta and who else, Polito, or whoever the hell you want to bring up, you know what I'm saying? They don't hear us, but guess what? These elites do. These elites do. They got all the money. They got all the bunkers. You know what I'm saying? They know exactly who we are, and they know what we're talking about is true, man. Because they've seen the messages. They've heard those messages from CERN and all these different things, dealing with all these vortex, all these different black holes. You know, dealing with the spiritual realm, and they've been getting these messages, and they know that it correlates to what these scriptures are saying, man. They know that it's correlating with what these scriptures are saying, that their demise is right around the corner. Right? Tech Hill. These jokers been weighed in the balance, and they've been found wanting, man, and it's about to come down, man. It's about to come down. Daniel chapter 5 verse 27. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances, and art found wanting. You see what I'm saying? The Most High has numbered these kingdoms. He's numbered the kingdom of Esau, Edom, man. So he had his fun. He had his go around, you know what I'm saying? Playtime is over, though. Playtime is over. Let's go to Lamentations. Let's get that real quick. I'm gonna end it off with that. Lamentations chapter 4. Verse 21. It says, Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. That's all we saying, man. Rejoice and be glad. Rejoice and be glad. Enjoy all the final hours of your kingdom for as much as you can. Enjoy it to the best of your ability, because no matter what you do, no matter how you try to bring forth your new world order, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So enjoy what you can while it lasts. You see what I'm saying? O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz, the cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Our punishment is over. Our punishment is over. You see what I'm saying? The transition has already begun. And it's time for y'all to be taken out of place, man. And y'all gonna be brought low. You see? Rags to riches and riches to rags. That's how it's gonna happen, man. You look at the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. And that's all I gotta say, man. This has been Gad's cry, dude. Gad's cry. You know what I'm saying? A troop overcame him, but he's gonna overcome in the last. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, this be the last Thanksgiving that we have to endure. Lord willing, this be the last one. Right? Because our salvation is nigh at hand, man. I pray this was edifying. I want to say, call Halayim La, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Yahawashi. Double honors unto your apostles and the elders, a great millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Yakim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwat that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings to you all. Barakatha. Shalom. And no matter how many times you try to diminish us, you try to hide behind your, you know what I'm saying, your falsehoods. No matter how hard you try to bring out this new world order, man, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, and you already know that. And you already know that. But your pride won't stop you. You know what I'm saying? Your pride will keep you going, man. And going until the Most High brings you down, man. Because y'all are the vessels fitted for destruction. You know? So I'm going to cut that there, man. I pray this was edifying. You know what I'm saying? This has been Gad's call. Gad's cry. This is Gad's cry, man. You know? And don't you be discouraged out here. Don't you be discouraged. Because the scriptures say that there shall be a remnant from every tribe. From each tribe there shall be the elect. There shall be the elect from every tribe of the 144,000. 12,000 from each tribe who will be the governing body. So that means that Gad is still here. The tribe of Gad is still here and still running strong in these last hours, man. Still running strong. The tribe of Reuben, tribe of Simeon, you know what I'm saying? The tribe of Ephraim, tribe of Manasseh, you see? Naphtali, Asher, all these different tribes, they have what's appointed in their lots. You know what I'm saying? That the Most High has preserved to be his elect. And then you got the 1/3 remnant that's going to be following. You see? Trust and believe. This is going to be one full kingdom at the end of this. A full kingdom from top to bottom. Right? So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this was edifying. I want to say, Call Halayim La, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Harakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Yakim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Yakwat that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings to you all. Barakatah. Shalom.